Hello, my name is Jacob Adams. I'm a fitness and leadership coach. I'm also the creator of the concept called Common Sense Self-Mastery. As some of you may have noticed, if you're watching this book review, I'm going to be reviewing High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. I myself am a student of Brendon Burchard's teachings and his books and his courses, etc., etc. And I was really excited to look for. We've been waiting for this book for 1 year. He's been writing it for 3. I myself have waited for this book for about 1 year. About September, it was released last month, and I waited for it since September 2016. Well, maybe you've read it, maybe you haven't, maybe you want to know a little bit about it. And here's my review on it, all right? In waiting for it for a year, he was giving a discount on a free audiobook, which I was excited to see, and with the purchase of the Kindle. And so he himself reads the audio version, and so you take his test. So he gives you the test for the six high performance habits, which is what the book is about. It's about his identification of the top 6 high performance habits that allow someone to consistently perform above average over the long term. So that's exactly what the book is about, okay? And he breaks down every one of these 6 habits, and here they are. The first habit he goes into is clarity, okay? It's for me to use this video and be confident that it's going to come out well, etc., etc. You don't have to know exactly what I'm going to say, which was the book review, right? I have a clear understanding of what I'm doing. I have a clear understanding of what I want from the day. He goes into everything from being clear as how do you want to feel. I'm going to work out here in a bit. How do I want to feel during that workout? What do I want to accomplish? So the more clarity you have, the better. So that's habit number 1. And he goes into every one of these habits for a good hour or so as he reads it. Maybe sometimes more, but for sure 1 hour per habit. Habit number 2 is energy. This is one that I've committed to for many years. As a matter of fact, one of the things I looked for as I got into training back, over 20 years ago, was how do I increase more energy? And so even as I drink my Spark here, which has B vitamins in it, I'm looking to create more energy. So he goes into how to create the energy on some levels, but he talks about the importance of that energy. So people that are into high performance are consistently monitoring their energy, consistently monitoring how to increase it, and consistently monitoring how to reduce stress to keep the energy up. So one of the techniques that he uses is his famous release. And that's something that I've been doing more so lately, okay? So the release technique is something that can increase energy. Working out, obviously, getting your sleep, 8 hours. And these things are not, again, they're habits. So if you build your life around getting your consistent sleep, you're going to have more energy, and a high performer needs that energy, okay? The third habit is need. I know me, I've talked about it in many of my videos. I'm in the position in my life where I have to start thinking about a family up ahead of time for the future. For many years, I pretty much wasn't really concerned when I would have family. I was like, when it's time. But now, for me, I'm fighting for working for my family in the future, my immediate family, being here for them. And these are the people that I need to step up to the plate for. Okay, so having a needing as to what you have your goal. It doesn't have to be a person per se. It could be, your health. You decide to work out because of your health. You really need to do it. So having a need is essential. There's an essential habit of high performance. And you could call this a purpose. People call it purpose all the time. It's not, what is on the line that if you don't accomplish your goal, something can go terribly wrong. It's putting some skin in the game. So those are the 3 habits, and these are the first 3 that are part of internal. Okay, these are internal habits. Now the external habits that Burchard goes into are going to be productivity. Okay, for me, for today, here one of my big goals was to do this book review. it complements the concept, right? But at the same time, it's working out, training clients, making sure I meditate, making sure I'm eating right, making sure that the product cells that I'm working on are moving and things like this, okay? So this is part of productivity, right? Again, and a high performer is consistently looking at his productivity, all right? And, it brings a smile to my face to know that, I do look at my productivity. I'm consistently looking at my productivity. So productivity is one of it. And that might be common sense, like, I need to do more, I need to produce more. I'm just going into the habits, okay? The fifth habit is influence. Without influence, a person cannot achieve scalability or great movement in the world, right? So influence is one of the consistent habits that a person of high performance is looking to cultivate habitually, okay? And he goes into a little bit more. The influence one is a little bit more tricky to explain, but you could say challenging somebody to do something in a positive light is a good way to influence them. In other words, someone may have said something to you when you were young, like, you're better than that, okay? That famous speech by Rocky in Rocky 5, where he tells his son, because quitters do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. He goes, now, if you want to know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits. Remember that part? Well, he was challenging his son. And so he said that was an influential moment. It was so influential that I remembered all that. I've said that speech a couple of times in life, and it's influential, right? Because maybe we see ourselves like the son in that movie, and he's talking to us, right? It's an influential scene. So that's one of the concepts in influence. Okay. Number 6 is courage. In other words, courage. I'm the type of person that doesn't necessarily need courage to speak in front of people at this stage of my life, but I might need more courage to go up to somebody, that I don't know at the gym or in daily life or at a coffee shop to introduce them to my business or what I do, or talk about my business just out of nowhere, right? That takes a little bit more a little bit more, and that's where you really want to have everything else firing off: your clarity, your need, your energy, your purpose, the whole thing. So that way, in the moment of truth where you need that courage, it's more readily available to execute. Okay, so that's a little bit about the book. I hope that get the book. I definitely recommend it, and let's all be more high performance. It's work. What I love about Brendon is he's all into just saying, look, this is work. This isn't free stuff. This isn't like you're just going to read this book and your life's figured out. He just highlights the areas of consistency where if we focus on consistently daily, we will see a rise in our overall quality of life and high performance, okay? I love the book. I'll probably listen to it over again. It's like, I think it's good. It's going to be a classic like Grant Cardone's Be Obsessed or Be Average, or any of the other amazing books that have stood the test of time. I think this is the one. This is one that we can come back to every few months and look at what it is. He includes a summary in it at the end, so you don't have to go through the whole book again. So he himself summarizes it for you at the end. I mean, you can't really beat what Brendon's aim is to really get people like you and me to hone in on these 6 habits, okay? And he drills that point home very, very, very readily and very thoroughly, and it's great. In it, the past, of as far as when we look at other books, I think that they may be anecdotal, and he does address on that, like where I think Tim Ferriss had Tools of the Titans, which is a great book. I love that book. He has stuff in there by Jocko Willink and Paul Rodriguez, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great book. But Brendon Burchards says, he doesn't call that book out directly, but he does say this is an interview of famous people that is anecdotal. These are scientifically proven habits. That's sort of the main distinction between books in the past and this one, is that Brendon Burchards put his name on the line and said, look, these 6 habits will guarantee success. So just keep moving your behavior in accordance with these habits. Okay, as far as courage, for example, he says, I can't tell you what's courage. You have to decide if you're being courageous enough. And he goes into examples as to how that goes. So I love, I'd recommend the book thoroughly. I don't make a single cent recommending that. It's a great book. I don't make a dime at all. I'm not an affiliate of Brendon Burchards at all. I'm just a student that likes his work, and I think that few people on this earth have that level of impact where you can just recommend their stuff because you know it can help someone else, and you know they're just such a good quality person that you want their work to continue flourishing. I can only hope to one day be at that level of work. I mean, that's just so impressive beyond measure to me. So yeah, I'd say like if you look at the 6 habits, the main thing that you want to prevent is like putting them on the back burner. Is take some initiative. You know, for me today, it's this. You know, making this video. That's my act of clarity and need, and working from need and purpose, and also a little courage. You know, but you know, admittedly, it's not something I need so much courage for. But you know, maybe today, as I go to the gym, I might need to carry some extra product and talk to somebody, even though I don't necessarily want to. It's not my like, you know, it's not like, oh, I can't wait. Maybe I do need to address that. See, and a common mistake would be to like just leave it as is and think, oh, I'm fine. No, you know, examine that hard stuff. Examine the hard stuff within yourself. And the common mistake would be not to examine the sticking points within yourself. I'd love to see you subscribe. I'd love to hear if you got the book, maybe because this is the video, or just hear your thoughts on the book, whatever. Love to hear it. This is Jacob Adams signing off. Share your thoughts, subscribe, just be cool, and focus on those 6 habits. Peace.